Today, the Washington Redskins versus the Dallas Cowboys.
My old buddy Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers sing "Take Me to Your Lovin' Place." But Texas Stadium is anything but that for opponents. The Cowboys are 15-0 in regular season games here. In fact, the last loss at this stadium is in 1979 when the Rams beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. Welcome to Texas Stadium. Hi, I'm Tom Brookshire, along with number 12, the great Dallas quarterback Roger Staubach. And Roger, let's talk a little bit about what you think might be the weakness of Washington, the secondary. Is Danny White going to go work right away up there, you think?
I think there's some weaknesses in their secondary. Dallas has lived and breathed on the big play to Hill, to Pearson, to Cosby, to Dorsett. They can throw against Washington's secondary. Also, the running defense of Washington has been really behind a little bit the last 4 or 5 weeks, and the real fine running backs have run well on him, so Dorsett should be able to run against Washington also.
You think he's a fine running back, do you?
I classify him as a pretty good running back.
On the other side now, Joe Theismann has also begun to really move the football to a lot of different receivers. People like Art Monk and company. Obviously, the Dallas secondary is young and inexperienced. Can they work on that other secondary?
Well, you're right, Tommy. There's Monk. He's a fine receiver. Theismann really goes to a lot of different receivers. Monk is the big one, the key one, but he goes to Metcalf, to Washington, to Warren. They can really move the ball around. I think they're going to have a hard time running against the Dallas defense, but they should be able to throw against the Dallas secondary, Tommy.
Okay, Roger. Mark Mosley approaching the kickoff. The Cowboys obviously have won that toss. Jonesy back to take now for Dallas. It is a sellout, obviously. Late afternoon start, and we're ready. Mosley's kick, and he gets the big hang time. It's going to be taken by number 30. Out to the 22-yard line, breaks a tackle, and gets out to the almost the 30-yard line. That's Newsom making the run back. Good field position on a very high hanging kickoff by Mark Mosley. Here's that offense. Danny White, the young man that replaced my colleague today. Tony Dorsett, the great rusher, perhaps one of the greatest of all time. Ronnie Springs, who can catch it coming out of there. And, of course, the greats Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. Up front, B.J. Dupre at tight end. Pat Donovan, even though he's got a few injuries, he's going to play anyway. Herbert Scott, Rafferty, Peterson, and Jimmy Cooper at right tackle.
Well, the Dallas is in pretty good field position. Normally, they like to start out with a deceptive, something where White can get maybe a quick pass or a draw. And it's a quick screen.
And poorly thrown. Here's the defense now. That watches the first incomplete pass. Mendenhall at left end. Dave Butts, the big fellow that you've got to block. That'll be Peterson's job. Perry Brooks and Dexter Manley, a very, very good pass rushing defensive end. Dusick, Olkowitz, Monty Coleman, the speed guys, Coleman. And the secondary, the corners, Jarris White and Joe Lavender, with Tony Peters and Mark Murphy, who is sort of their field general. That's the defense.
We'll see what Dallas is going to do, Tom. They're in a 2nd and 10, and normally like to throw, but with Dorsett in the backfield, they've run from this also.
The toss back to Dorsett out of the eye. Oh, he's nailed at the line of scrimmage. A good tackle by number 52, who got in there very quickly, Olkowitz, the young man out of Maryland. Boy, Dorsett looked like he had the play opening up and then closed the door.
It's early in the game, but that's the key for Washington. If they can pursue and stop Dorsett from cutting back and contain him, if you contain Dorsett under 100 yards, it's been phenomenal as far as his record over 100 yards. They're like 22-1, and he's a leading rusher in the NFL. So if they can contain him, Washington has got an excellent chance of winning this football game.
And the opening game, he had 132, his best effort ever against the Redskins in the opening day, huh? Here it is, shotgun time on 3rd and call it 10. In motion is Butch Johnson coming back into the slot. No heat. White throwing and overthrowing, almost caught him and almost intercepted. Ball hit 2 or 3 different hands through there, heading for Drew Pearson or Johnson coming across the middle.
Excellent pressure by Dexter Manley that time. Maybe White just out of the corner of your eye, you see those things, and he did get that ball too high. I think Manley had a little bit to do with that.
Manley, of course, out of Oklahoma State, a rookie, a great pass rusher, and Donovan might not be 100%. There's Nelms, one of the great return men in either conference, and of course Danny White to try to kick it away and get about a 4.7 hang time if you can on seconds. Boy, this is a good-looking kick. Nelms is driven back to the 25. 23 now. That's the way. Gets away from 1, 2. Gets to the 31. The Redskins will have their first offensive shot.
Nelms doesn't fair catch, as you mentioned last week when we were doing the Giant game, and that time he gave one little move, and Benny Barnes, excellent play by Nelms.
The young man that we saw last week. Here's the offense. Joe Theismann, he can move in the pocket. Joe Washington, who does everything. Metcalf, Art Monk, and the two tight end offense we'll see, and Roger will talk about Don Warren and Rick Walker, are in there at the same time. Jacoby, a young man who will give, I believe, Martin a pretty good day. Grimm, Bostic, Saul, and George Stark, the veterans, working on Ed Jones. There's Walker in motion, reverse motion by the tight end. The first handoff to Joe Washington, looking for daylight, gets not much, maybe a yard. Good play by Hegman on the line of scrimmage, held his ground. Boy, Theismann has matured right before our eyes. The first 5, he had all the stats and not much else. Jones, Dutton, who's playing with the bad thigh. Randy White, who plays despite anything else. And, of course, Harvey Martin, who's having a great year. Hegman, Brunig, D.D. Lewis, the veteran. Walls, Dennis Thurman, the young cornerbacks. Charlie Waters, and Downs is also a rookie in there at safety. Monk goes in motion. The second handoff to Joe Washington. Harvey Martin making the tackle, gets to about the 34. It's going to bring up the first third down for Joe Theismann.
It looks like they're going to test Dallas running the football. And Washington, in this 5 out of 6 streak they've had, they've run the ball very well. They've had to mix it up and use a balanced attack, but I think they're going to have a tough time running the ball against Dallas. That's their strength, is against the rush. Last week was the first time they showed a problem there with Billy Sims, so maybe Washington saw something in that game, and they're going to use Joe Washington today a lot more than most teams have tried to do running the football against Dallas.
Here it is, the first third down conversion for Theismann. Man in motion is Metcalf. Good blocking. Theismann unloads it. That's Art Monk with the ball over the 40. Almost to the 50-yard line. The young man from Syracuse can run. Anthony Dickerson making the tackle, but from behind.
Well, the key that time was hitting Monk 4 or 5 yards downfield, and then Monk, just on his own, the great athlete that he is, made a move on Everson Walls. Right here, Theismann throws the ball short of the first down, but they have a lot of confidence in Monk. And here he makes a fake right, breaks inside of Everson Walls, and that, of course, gets the first down.
Boy, Walls was really deep, though. It must have been respecting the speed too much of number 81, huh? First down toss back to Washington, trying to get to midfield, and does, and gets out of bounds into his own bench, chased by Dennis Thurman. You've got to be careful around the out-of-bounds lines with Dennis. He'll ring your helmet a little bit.
If they can get Joe Washington running the football, it'll be a big plus for him, but so far he's been shut down. I think he's probably one of the most elusive and the quickest running backs in the NFL today, Joe Washington.
Would you have thrown on first down a little bit against the Dallas flex? Would you think about that?
Well, Dallas definitely has a tendency on first down to play the run very, very strong, and you can throw on them. But again, Washington wants to keep their balance going, and they feel they have to run the ball today to be successful also.
It's the second down and 8. Here's the drop back pass. Good time for Theismann. On open receiver, Washington makes 2 people miss and gets inside the 40 to the 36. Boy, he is a scooter.
Well, here's what they do well. They hit the backs in the seams, and here's Joe Washington coming out of the backfield. He's just looking into that zone where to turn out. He might turn out or he might turn in. He just finds an opening between the cornerback and the linebacker, D.D. Lewis, and he makes a few moves on his own with that quickness and, of course, gets the first down.
Another first down, 2 in a row for the Redskins. Theismann has them going. 1 remaining back. That's the big fella. There's Riggins faking the inside. Theismann throwing on first down. Open receiver inside the 30. Walls makes the tackle. Boy, Theismann is setting up very quickly and looks like he knows what he's trying to do.
Well, he does a good job that time. He just fakes out to Riggins, keeps the linebacker from zipping out to the cornerback. Didi's looking inside. He watched the run fake, so he doesn't get out to help Walls. That play action helped. Theismann threw a bullet out to Metcalf, and again, they're short, about a yard short of the first down.
Everson Walls, the young rookie at left corner from Grambling, a free agent with 10 interceptions, but boy, he's playing about 11 yards deep. Second down and short. Riggins is in there, the short yardage fullback, and he gets it outside. Riggins makes the first down, gets almost to the 25. Charlie Waters making the tackle. Riggins one time, Washington the next. That's a solo back, much different in their styles, and probably makes you tackle different ways sometimes.
Well, Riggins has really come on strong again the second half of the season. He missed last year, had a pretty good training camp, was in good shape, but he didn't have his football legs back. He's playing well now, and they're using him in and out. Last week against the Giants, of course, Riggins had a big day. Of course, Tom Landry is concerned. He's concerned on a 35-0 lead also, so you can't tell a whole lot from him.
First down, man in motion with the tight end. Riggins gets tackled and dropped. as Michael Downs, the young man out of Rice, comes up and makes a good play from the safety spot, and I really like him. He's tall and he's young, but he's really had a great season.
Well, that's quite a story here in Dallas. Michael Downs, a hometown young man. He's got 6 interceptions this year. A lot of range in that secondary. Since Randy Hughes was hurt earlier in the year, that they needed someone to fill that gap, and Downs has done a good job. And Riggins is coming out, and again, Joe Washington's back in the game.
What are you looking for on second down now, and they call it 7 deep inside?
Monk is a good bet again, or possibly to the tight end.
Reverse action by the tight end on motion. Here's the draw play to Washington. Oh, what a good call. He gets to the 15-yard line.
Well, that's what I was thinking right there, a draw to Washington.
Rooney.
Well, that's what you get as a quarterback, trying to set guess. That's a good play. Excellent play. It's a good draw screen play. I thought they'd throw the ball. They didn't. That's what they've done well. They've mixed it up, and they've got a back like Washington that can hit that crease, get in there quickly. Dallas had their pass defense in there, and it was a good play to cross them up.
Bostic must have come over and taken Randy White wide.
Bostic did an excellent job in that play.
Pretty good young offensive line, but very young. Big left tackle, that's him. That's the young man that's Jacoby that's working against Martin. Here's the inside handoff. Washington hit by Randy White, but gets forward. Pretty close to the 10-yard line. Almost got his head torn off by number 54.
Walker, number 88, did a good job on Harvey Martin, and if anyone could have got to White, it would have been a big game, but Randy slowed him down, and that made the play.
A 1-2-3 kick situation for Dallas, and the Redskins have taken their first possession, and there's only a little over 8 minutes left in the first quarter. This has been some Washington Redskin drive. Second down, 6. The tight end in motion, reverse motion. Washington behind him, gets outside, makes the person miss. Charlie Waters missed. He fumbles it out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Dennis Thurman stripping him of the ball.
Well, the fumble maybe lost a yard, but not much more than that. Waters did a good job. It looked like Washington had a lot of room. He breaks to the outside right there. Well, of course, Waters missed him, and it really was Dennis Thurman that came up and did the good job, knocked the ball out of bounds, and Washington looked like he was headed for that end zone, and nice play by Dennis Thurman.
Thurman is a heck of a guy, though. Moved to the right corner spot, which is perhaps the worst in football, and he's such a competitor and such a hitter that he makes up for a lot of probably ability just with the hustle and banging, doesn't he?
Yeah. A little guy, but he's strong.
Third down, 4, the first crucial call in this ballgame in this first period. Theismann got some time, throwing, almost knocked away by Thurman, heading for Metcalf. And Dennis Thurman made a do-or-die play in the end zone.
That was a good play by Thurman. Theismann threw the ball pretty well. He was well covered Metcalf. Thurman almost intercepts the ball right here. He really didn't see it till the last second and then put his hand out. But Theismann led the receiver real well. Thurman just did get a hand on the ball.
Mosley coming in now. He's hit 10 of his last 15 field goals. And as we told you, 240, 48, and 49. To win the football game over the Giants a week ago. He's 6 for 6 from this area. He may not have gotten it. It is wide right, over the right upright. And everybody does let out a cheer. Mosley misses the short one. A half wedge. There's no score. The Redskins had the momentum, and Dallas gets the football back.
Gentlemen, this meeting is called to decide which one of us is the most popular light beer drinker of all.
Must be talking about me.
I vote for my buddy, Boog Powell.
Oh.
Should I take the minutes?
You can take all year.
Hey, I cast my vote for Billy Martin.
I'll second that.
Me too.
Excuse me, this chart clearly shows what a little showing off can do.
Now, wait a minute. I'm the most popular guy here. Gentlemen, we a little respect. At least we agree that light beer from Miller tastes great.
Let's do it! Tastes great! Let's do it! Tastes great! Let's do it!
Better make it a secret ballot.
Could we vote for Red Auerbach?
See what? I'm voting for me.
Count the vote, and that's no joke. All right. Gentlemen, we have a winner.
Says here the winner is Bubba Smith.
I knew this was a bad idea.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Mosley's first miss of the year from this distance. What happened, Raj?
Well, the ball was low, and it did hit the ground, but Theismann did a good job getting it in position, but a kicker sees it hit the ground, and Theismann took maybe just a split second to get it on hold, and mentally you don't know what a kicker's thinking, but Mosley just missed an easy chip shot. He was 6 for 6 from that distance.
I know it. But a big, big thing for the Dallas Cowboys because they get the ball on the 20 and nobody's on the board. The second offensive series for the Cowboys. They shift back. Dorsett and Springs now in a pro set behind Danny White. Handoff to Tony Dorsett, who breaks a tackle, gets to the 25. Dave Butts making the tackle from the off-tackle position. Oh, he does get started in a hurry. Tony Dorsett. And I'm watching some of the great backs in college ball right now during some of these things, and they don't have that extra ingredient that Dorsett has, the ability to almost change while you're putting your foot down.
Well, that's where he has that quick acceleration. He's very fast, and it looks like a bad play. You can accelerate and make it a good play, and if you don't have that kind of speed, you get yourself in trouble.
Second down and 5. Handoff outside the Springs, gets a good block from the halfback, and skids out to the 32-yard line. Joe Lavender came up to make the tackle. A good run by Ron Springs.
Ron Springs has really been an asset to Dallas. He's coming on now as a runner and a blocker. He's their leading receiver with 36 receptions. He's got over 400 yards rushing, so Ron has been a big plus. He's got speed out of the backfield, but being a receiver, it's nice for a quarterback to have a guy like Dorsett, who's got 28 catches, and Spring was 36. So they complement each other very well in the backfield.
Good block by Jimmy Jones, who was in there that time to give Dorsett a little bit of a breather.
Good time to throw a football right here when you have a good run.
Here it is from the pro set. White going to a quick outside maneuver to Pearson. Catches the ball in front of Jarris White and steps out of bounds. And how many times over the years have you thrown that ball and know he would be able to handle it?
Now, Drew is a precision route runner. Here's Danny. He reads the defense right away. He knows it's man-to-man, and he hit Pearson. Nice play.
The roar is the final score. The Giants have beaten Philadelphia 20-10 at Met Stadium in Philadelphia, and this crowd has gone bananas. Pittsburgh beating Cleveland in Cleveland. Big day to go to somebody else's city. Let's see if that's right for Washington. Man in motion in Springs. Signal back left is Tony Dorsett on the toss. Dorsett gets a block from Springs, but somehow Tony Peters got rid of the block and made the tackle short of that first down.
Tony Peters made a heck of a play. That was Peters all the way. Dorsett had a lot of room down that sideline, and Peters made an excellent tackle.
It was a first down. Boy, Dorsett always is going forward after he's been tackled. And that was a good tackle by Peters. Peters hasn't missed a football game since he's come into pro football. Much less for the Redskins. He's played every play. It's first down and 10 now. The ball's out on the 45, and White has some breathing room. With free in motion, the tight end. Reverse motion. Caught somebody on the defense stepping early. White has some time, and Drew Pearson is open at the 40. And down to 36, fumbles the ball. Murphy has the ball, and I believe the Redskins have got possession at the 34-yard line. Pearson made the catch, and the tackle made him cough the ball up. Jarris White dug him hard.
They got confused when Dupree started one way, went the other way, and someone got mixed up. Pearson was wide open here in the hole. It looked like Jarris White got a little confused with that movement, and here Drew fight for an extra yard, fumbles, and it's costly to Dallas.
No score, 6 minutes left.
This roomy, inexpensive Subaru station wagon not only goes far on a gallon of gas, it also goes almost anywhere on a gallon of gas, thanks to front-wheel drive. But if you want more traction than our wagon with front-wheel drive, we suggest our wagon with on-demand four-wheel drive. Subaru, inexpensive, and built to stay that way.
MCS, stereo for the senses. See the beauty of MCS. Touch the precision controls. Hear incredible sound. Feel it move you to a realm beyond. The MCS 60-watt system with receiver and speakers is on sale at $599.85. Save $380. See it, touch it, hear it, feel it. MCS, stereo for the senses. Only at JCPenney.
Critics call this dam project a disaster, and you paid for it. How did the politicians push it through? We're going after the answers on the CBS Evening News Monday.
The first-year coach is on your left, and the fellow on the right used to battle with you over what plays to call.
That's right. There were a few battles.
First and 10, almost on the 40. Kaiser back on first down. He's pumping, going deep. He's trying for Metcalf down the sidelines, and Walls is there. Pretty good pass rush by John Dutton. Made number 7 sort of jack it around and finally throw it, perhaps a little earlier than he wanted to.
Well, he did have to throw it earlier, and he didn't put much air on the ball. There's Crazy Ray right there.
Whistling Ray, that's right. Boy, we're going to get some letters on this. It's all in good taste and just having fun here in Texas. It's 60 degrees, and it's beautiful at Texas Stadium. Second down and 10. Metcalf's the man in motion. Inside handoff to Joe Washington. Pulled off behind by Randy White. On the line of scrimmage virtually. What a play by number 54. MVP of a Super Bowl. He and Harvey Martin were co-MVPs when you beat Denver that day. Every play is his last play. That's the way he plays it.
Those interceptions, 28, though, Tommy, related to that man you're talking about there. With the pressure that White puts on, and Harvey and Ed Jones and Dutton, quarterbacks have a difficult time, and you think it's the people in the secondary, but that line has a lot to do with those interceptions.
Good point. It's third down and 10 now. Metcalf on the left side. Quick pass inside to Ricky Thompson. He's going to be short of the first down there as Walls makes the tackle. Short of the first down.
Good job by Theismann. That was a blitz, and they had the audible. It's an automatic audible down and in, but it was about a yard short of the first down. And on that blitz, that's about all you can do. Theismann did it, but Thompson was short.
Mike Connell has come in to punt the ball. Jimmy Jones will be back to accept it around the 15. Connell now. A pretty good kicker, and they cover. Let's see what Dallas tries to do. Bostic snap is high. Connell straightens it out and gets a pretty fair kick. Goes at the 16 to about the 22. Good coverage by the Redskins. As this game sashays back and forth, the Redskins' big drive ended with a missed Mark Mosley field goal from short range. Flags are on the play. Might be a legal man down under the punt. What will Dallas do? Decide to take the ball safely outside of their 20? And
I think they'll make him punt again.
You think that they think now that Jones might break one, you mean?
I saw White over there crossing his hands, so they're probably going to refuse it. But it...
Ineligible downfield on the punt, number 53. Offense declined. First down.
You could also fumble that if you had him kick the ball back to you again. No score. 4:31 left in the first period. This baby's just getting started.
This roomy, inexpensive Subaru station wagon not only goes far on a gallon of gas, it also goes almost anywhere on a gallon of gas, thanks to front-wheel drive. But if you want more traction than our wagon with front-wheel drive, we suggest our wagon with on-demand four-wheel drive. Subaru, inexpensive, and built to stay that way.
Conoco's gas-saving motor oil is the result of 60 years of innovations.
Oh, we have a new one.
1922.
Got an additive.
Conoco introduces the motor oil additive. In 41,
Oil from Conoco.
an additive to keep engines cleaner. Then in 54,
Multigrade oil.
an oil that works in all kinds of weather.
In the summer, wintertime.
And now, a gas-saving motor oil, new generation all season. From Conoco, hottest brand going.
Roger, do you realize all you missed being a player now? You never got a chance to see the performance that the normal fan, TV and otherwise, see.
Started working for CBS. I didn't realize we had cheerleaders that work for CBS.
We're going to straighten your life out yet. It's 1st and 10 now. The ball is on the 22-yard line. Brosette behind Danny White. The handoff to Dorsett. He breaks out cleanly. And finally, number 51, Monty Coleman had to wrap him up quickly or he was gone. Almost to the 30-yard line.
Well, big number 68, Herb Scott's leading the way, doing a good job. Here's Dorsett again. He's going across back, and now he explodes. And Peterson does a good job as Herb Scott, 68. So he's got good blocking, and he's got that explosion to get in that secondary very quickly, and it's a good job by Coleman.
And Scott's a darn good pulling guard, and he really gets out and moves it.
That's really his forte when he pulls. He's got that body that really knocks some people down.
2nd down and 3 on the 29 call. It springs inside. Up the 1st down and much more as it gets to the 43, dragging people along, Mark Murphy included.
Going into last week's game, over a 3-week period, the Redskins gave up almost 7 yards a rush before they played the Giants, and you can run against them. They used to have a tough run defense, but here Springs breaking tackles, getting into the secondary, and finally he's brought down by Lavender, Murphy, and a host of Redskins after a big game.
Forward lean. He always seems to be leaning over, and he has tremendous power. We're talking about Springs, the young man out of Ohio State several years ago. He can catch that ball, too. It's a 1st and 10 for Dallas now. It looks like they think they can move it. 3:14 left in the 1st. Play-action pass by White. He's got some pressure going deep. Tony Hill, and just off and away from him as Lavender and Tony Hill were brushing against one another down around the 15-yard line.
Well, Lavender lost the ball. Hill had about a step on him, then all of a sudden Lavender was in pretty good shape, and by the time Lavender turned around, he hit just about that sun area down there, and here he is looking. He looks around again. Now he kind of loses the ball right here. He pushes a little bit in there. It could have gone either way. That was close, but
you know, Tony Hill though runs about as fast as he has to. You told me that on 42nd timings he never did very well, but he won all of them, right?
Not sensational in a 40-yard dash by himself, but when he has to run against somebody to run for the ball, he's got that extra acceleration.
Here's the toss play to Dorsett on 2nd down 10. Good tackle by number 59, Brad Dusick, the old Texas Aggie who's back to torment the Cowboys a little bit. Elsewhere, some of the action. Look at some scores as TD picks up his sweatband, 23-7. Detroit over Chicago. Tampa Bay getting their offense going, obliterating Green Bay.
Green Bay had things going, we thought. There's a big upset.
New Orleans and Bum Phillips 27-24 in Houston. The Bum had to love that one. I bet his boots are shined. 3rd down and call it 10. It's about 9.5. Cosby's in at the slot position right. Throw out of the shotgun. Danny White's going to run with it. He's over the midfield and tackled at the 46-yard line. A 1st down for the running Dallas quarterback. Does he like to run as much as you did?
Danny's got the ability to run. He's got quick feet, but he normally will pull up and throw the ball. He's a smart quarterback. He wasn't dumb like I was running downfield. There's a big opening. Good protection, but he just saw such a big opening up the middle. The secondary was doing a good job, and he just ran for the 1st down and got it with a yard to spare.
He got hit pretty hard by Coleman and company there, but a 1st down for the quarterback. And that really hurts a defense when somebody gets out of kilter and runs against you when you think it's the pass play. 1st and 10 now on the 46-yard line. Pearson and Tony Hill to the top. Now Drew Pearson comes through the formation. Here's the fake. A corner pattern to Tony Hill, who cuts to the 25 as he out of bounds. He caught it as Joe Lavender took the inside move, and Tony Hill really put a cut on.
Well, that pass right there was set up. Lavender likes to take away the inside anyway. He has a tendency to play normally is Drew Pearson over the middle with Hill splitting the seam. This time it's a counter route, so they throw to Hill, break into the outside. See Lavender going to the inside. He's anticipating the deep post, and Hill's wide open to the outside. And that's taking advantage of a technique and also a counter route off of a good play, which Dallas uses, hitting Pearson over the middle.
Darnier made it down the sidelines, and he loves to turn those shorter plays into big ones. It's a 1st and 10 now. The ball is on the 26-yard line. Inside handoff. Springs, and he really puts his head down and gets hit. Number 52 making that tackle. That's Olkowitz, the leading tackler for the Redskins. Cincinnati continuing their hot ways, 38-21, a final.
Well, that's probably the hottest team in the National Football League right now.
Certainly in the AFC. Buffalo 20-17 over New England. The Bills having their problems, at least until today, since Dallas beat them right here a couple of weeks ago. It's second down and 7. Ball's on the 23. That Springs in motion. Danny White, here's the misdirection play to Tony Dorsett. There's a flag down. Dorsett gets to the 5, and the flag is thrown on the line of scrimmage. Hold on a minute. Murphy finally made that tackle.
When I saw Springs in motion, I thought they were going to throw it against Springs, but it was the ref on this side of the field. Springs cut upfield pretty fast, so it must have been someone on this side of the field, but on the other side, I thought Springs really was illegal and broke upfield too quick.
Boy, that hole really opened up. A misdirection, and all Dorsett has to do is take a false step, and everybody begins to move around and shuffle. Tough penalty. Unless you're playing defense, then you love it.
Illegal motion, number 20. Offense, still second down.
That was against Springs, but the official over on the other side of the field called a little bit late, where the official was next to Springs, was looking into the backfield, I guess, and didn't really notice. And
as long as we don't have 12 men on the field today, that's all I don't want to call. There's the coach a little bit concerned about it. In fact, he looks like he's hot. Second down and 12. That ball's on the 28. Back to throw, keeping this back in to get some time. Now he's going to run with it. Now he throws it off one leg, and he's going to throw it away as Murphy can't get it in the end zone. White looked like he was going to run, pulled up, and big Mark Murphy at 6'4" couldn't get his hands on it.
Well, he was possibly trying to throw it away, or he felt Drew was going to break back to the end of the end zone, but Murphy had a half chance catching that football.
Malott is in the ball game now. He's back from a knee problem or a shoulder problem he suffered against the Eagles earlier in the year. I noticed Butch Johnson coming in. There's a receiver you cannot afford not to cover or to think lightly of.
When you got Johnson and Pearson and Hill in the game at the same time, it's extra tough on the defense, and you can do a lot from it. Dallas has been successful in their third down situations in the last 3 or 4 games.
Springs is in motion. Looked like they jumped. Somebody for Dallas, for Washington. It's going to be a free one. That looks like Butch Johnson catching that football. Peters might have been, Tony Peters was on the line of scrimmage and might have jumped early, and the flag is down, and Dallas may have had a free one, and they're going to get a touchdown. Butch Johnson hanging one on the scoreboard. The nickel defense jumped off sides.
Now this number 86, Johnson, Butch has made plays time and time again, and he's having an excellent year this year, catching over 20 passes. He breaks to the post, back to the corner, and just beats that secondary like a drum that time. Somebody made a mistake, and Butch was wide open. Either the move to the inside got him shook up, or someone made a mental error, because once Butch broke back to the outside, there was nobody there.
I still think back to the one you threw him in the Superdome in that Super Bowl. I'll never forget that catch as long as I live. Here's Septien, who is perfect for the year, 28 for 28 on the extra point. It's up. Dallas draws first blood. 78 yards in 9 plays. Butch Johnson's touchdown catch. And 17 seconds left in quarter number 1.
Subaru owners have a lot in common besides all the different models they own, with front-wheel drive or on-demand four-wheel drive. They also share a habit of trading in one Subaru for another Subaru. No leading import is higher than Subaru in owner loyalty. People stick with a car they don't get stuck with. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
There's a hungry kind of feeling, and every day it grows. You know there's so much more to you than anybody knows.
Specialist Kevin Crowley is working with tomorrow's technology in the Army's newest tank.
All that you can be.
The laser determines target range and feeds it to the computer.
All that you can be.
It's just incredible.
'Cause we need you in the Army.
Next Saturday, get into the spirit as NCAA basketball premieres on CBS Sports. Now through the National Championship. Go one-on-one with CBS Sports.
There are the stats on that drive. The 28-yard pass, of course. Danny White going off one leg, getting a break with the offsides by Peters. Here's Sepian's kickoff, and Mike Nelms, the ever-dangerous number 21, a yard deep in the end zone. Look out. Good wedge. Oh, and good tackle put on him at the 20-yard line, and nothing moved. That's Fellows, the young special teamer, the safety man that came down, and Nelms is ferocious, but that's probably the best way to discourage a long return. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcasts or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. A first down at the 21, trailing 7-0 now. Tight end Walker in motion. Here's Fosman back to throw. He's got time and underthrows Metcalf, who is open at about the 31. A little pressure put on from Dutton, Big John Dutton.
They're going to work on Everson Walls a little bit over there, and he had some room, and Theismann just underthrew that pass.
The Redskins have 2 seasons. The one they are forgetting, the 0-5 start, and the second one they like, 5-1, 5 of the last 6. So some of their overall statistics don't hold up. This game is played tough in November, December. Second down 10. Handoff to Washington. They got Harvey Martin down, and Washington gets out to the 32 and a first down. Michael Downs made the tackle.
Great job blocking Harvey Martin, and he knew it. That created the hole. Washington, once he gets into a hole like that, he can get those extra yards. He did get the first down.
We're in Texas, and Dallas leads 7-0.
Subaru owners have a lot in common besides all the different models they own, with front-wheel drive or on-demand four-wheel drive. They also share a habit of trading in one Subaru for another Subaru. No leading import is higher than Subaru in owner loyalty. People stick with a car they don't get stuck with. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
I'll tell you, we never realized golf was such a tough game.
Hey, it's a lot easier hitting a quarterback than a little white ball. So us Linksters drink light beer from Miller.
Not just because light tastes great, but because it's got a third less calories than a regular beer.
And it's less filling.
And you can't afford to get filled up when you're out there trying to get birdies.
Yeah, those things move awfully fast.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Opening now at Sears, a Christmas of red ribbon values. This Craftsman 49-piece mechanics tool set is just $59.99. Save 50%. And save on this Craftsman 7.5-inch circular saw with case. Or this 1-horsepower router with case. They're just $59.99 on sale now. Save 40 to 50% on these Craftsman tools. To wrap up a beautiful Christmas, you can count on Sears.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
First play of the second period. The Redskins have the ball. A Joe Washington scamper for over 10 got him the first down. And the ball is on the 33-yard line. Here's the fake to Washington. Theismann trying to go deep, and he's going for Art Monk. And overthrows Monk, who was being trailed by Walls at about the 30-yard line. Walls and Charlie Waters were there.
That's recognition on Waters' part that time. They faked the draw. They're hoping to bring Waters up. St. Louis is doing a job in Baltimore, and Waters was actually back in pretty good shape to the inside. Kansas City's having a big year.
33-13. 3-3 San Francisco and Los Angeles, the battle for the West Coast. Oakland leading San Diego 7-0. That's in the first period. Oakland coming off that big win over Miami, 6-0. The Jets over Miami. That's for the AFC East leadership. Second down and 10. Man in motion is Art Monk. Handoff to Joe Washington, looking for somewhere to go. Finds some daylight against the grain. Out over the 40. Look out. 50. Tries to pick up a block by Ricky Thompson. Spins and gets inside the 40. Don't tell me he can't play football.
Hey, is he something else? When he's in that one-man backfield, he's got the option to go in, out, anything he wants to do. And he has block, and they do a good job holding their blocks. He starts to the right, breaks back to the left. Good shutoff blocks back to the outside, block indeed. And here's Thompson working downfield, doing a good job. Washington, again, is just so quick and elusive. He can do so much with the football and really break a defense's back.
Boy, Thurman made a good play that way to keep himself upright and make that play slow down. If he'd have made a quick move, he might have turned something into a touchdown. Here it is on first down and 10, inside the 40. Redskins now attacking back. Here's the handoff to John Riggins. Riggins doesn't get much. Piled up there by a host. Mike Hegman, the #1 man, along with Randy White. Can you make a steady diet of running against the Dallas front four? What's Joe going to have to do finally? Really throw it?
Other than Billy Sims, Dallas is pretty well shut down most of the runners in the NFL. Joe Washington's the type that can hurt him because he has that quickness. They're in the flex, and he can just bust a hole, and if one person breaks down the flex, it causes big runs. And, of course, with Washington's speed, he hits the right hole, and it's all over.
Second down and 9. Here's the pass play. Theismann going up over, heading for Joe Washington in the end zone. Well covered. Thurman the closest to it, I think, and Michael Downs was there in pursuit, too. Theismann is pumped up. His second half of the season has been really incredible. He doesn't have as many 200-yard days, but the team's winning now. I guess that's more important even to the quarterback, isn't it?
Well, he's hitting 60%, Tom. He's raised his NFL ratings up to 77.5, which is very respectable. And, you know, it's difficult. I know a quarterback that goes from George Allen to Pardee to Joe Gibbs, it just takes time to put a new system in and learn it. And Gibbs, of course, puts in a very sophisticated offensive system. And you have to feel comfortable as a quarterback. You got to make certain things automatic. Joe seems settled in the system now.
Here's the third down and 9 pass. Theismann scampering to the sidelines, and I believe has a relation to Ricky Thompson.
What a great play right there.
The little man from Baylor kept the feet in and somehow suspended himself and did get the play. It'll be good for a first down.
Now, Theismann kept his cool here, and this is what Thompson does so well. He's got excellent hands. He gets around Everson Walls, 24. Walls is looking into the backfield. He knows he has help deep. There's Thurman coming over. Thompson breaks back to Theismann. He sees the quarterback in a little bit of trouble. Theismann drills it, and Thompson really has the ability to make the tough catches, but also he keeps those feet in bounds.
A very smart player, huh? Very crafty. You know how those receivers are. First and 10 now. The ball's on the 22. Redskins think they've got something going. Crowd doesn't particularly like it. That's Metcalf in motion. Theismann on a straight drop back. He doesn't have any pressure on him. There's a flag thrown in the pocket. The ball's complete to Metcalf at the 15-yard line.
Those holding penalties really kill you. That's going to hurt the Redskins. That's another thing they've been doing well, staying away from the holding penalties. And the key penalties early in the year, they were killing them. And that's the wrong time for a penalty right there because the Redskins had a nice drive going.
I think Dutton's standing near the flag. I believe they might have grabbed the big fella from Nebraska and wrapped him up. Notice how he's standing right on the flag over there, number 78?
Yeah.
The scene of the crime.
It was either in he or Ed Jones was on that side of the line. But whoever it was, it's 10 yards, and that nullifies a nice gain.
Number 68, offense, still first down.
That's Grimm, the big rookie out of Pittsburgh on the left side, so it might have been working against Randy White. And I think holding him might be a pretty good idea if you don't get caught. Here's first and 10, first and 20. Back on the 32. Metcalf in motion, now reverse motion. Straight handoff to Joe Washington, who finds a hole and gets to the 23-yard line.
Well, Dutton and Randy White recognized the play, and it was just a little bit late. Anybody else but Joe Washington, they probably would have got him, but he's got that quickness, and they just missed him. Both of them started their pass rush, and Washington. Watch them both see it right about now. Good blocking by Grimm, though, and there's Dutton. He gets back a little late. Saul does a good job, though. Both he and Grimm. And Washington, all he needs is a little bit of room, and he got it.
Barnes and Dickerson making that tackle. A good play now. It's back to second down and 10. The Redskins don't give up. Here's Monk in motion. Back to throw. Theismann's got some heat on him this time. Dumps it to Monk, who is hit and drops the ball by Waters. And they're going to call it incomplete. Was it a fumble or incomplete? It's good defensive play, I know that.
Well, Theismann had a lot of pressure on him that time. Waters stripped the ball from Monk. It would have been a short game, but Theismann didn't have much of a chance on this. He had to get rid of the ball, and in fact, he was lucky getting rid of the ball. Here's Waters coming in. Nice play, good timing. And, of course, if you have both feet on the ground and you have possession of the ball, they can rule that a fumble. We couldn't see it from the other side if he actually had possession, but it was ruled incomplete.
A tough rule put in this year in the NFL. Quick possession on pass plays. 3rd down and 10. Big draw. Theismann going for the corner for Metcalf and intercepted by Charlie Waters. And the Dallas defense was waiting for that one.
I don't think Theismann saw Waters back there. He saw Benny Barnes working Metcalf, and Waters was back there deep in the zone to help on one side. Downs was on the other side. See, when you have a play action, sometimes you don't see what's happening in the secondary enough, and he just didn't see Waters because he drilled the ball right to him.
3rd interception for number 41, and there's 12:10 left before the half.
The 1982 cars are here, and so are the 1982 prices. But now, American Motors makes buying an 82 easier with a 10% rebate off base list prices. That's $725 off this 1982 Concorde and $1,000 off this Eagle. You can apply the cash to your down payment or get a check. A 10% rebate. Tough action from American Motors.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, your Christmas computer store.
On the CBS Tuesday night movies,
Freeze on a count!
Ed Asner and Gene Simmons have gone undercover and found each other. Now they may lose their lives in a small killing. Tuesday.
I got it. Charlie Waters, perhaps his last year as 11th, his 41st interception. How about that for number 41? He's been to 5 Super Bowls, hasn't he? He and Dede Lewis, huh?
That's right. 5 big ones.
The ball turned over at the 20 now. End zone interception. 7-0 Dallas lead, and Pearson's in motion gone. Here's Springs getting rid of an early attack and booms out to the 29-yard line. The head down, and Springs has come out firing. Olkowitz taking some punishment that time. Straight ahead, young Dexter Manley, number 72, the rookie at right defensive end, is a pass rusher. But you got to play that line of scrimmage for the run. Second down and short. Inside handoff. Springs gets away, moves outside. And is taken back to the 30, but he has the first down. Olkowitz this time getting even. Final scores, Pittsburgh beating Cleveland in a real grudge battle. It has been for 1,000 years. The Giants coming to Philadelphia and beating the team that won the NFC a year ago, and that's a big one. The Dallas crowd loved that one. Don't forget, next Sunday, Los Angeles at Pittsburgh. Washington plays in Buffalo. There might be 2 feet of snow. The Giants are in San Francisco, and Atlanta goes against Houston. Right here on CBS.
Screen or a draw here.
1st and 10 now. Saldi comes back in. There's the screen to Saldi, who going back into the blocking pattern. Gets to the 38-yard line. Boy, he's a clever receiver. Coleman had to make the tackle.
Well, Dallas likes to, when they get that first down and get up around the 30-yard line, they like to screen and draw back here, and this works perfectly. Looks right, pumps right, gets the lineman reacting over that way, and saw Perry Brooks going with White's pump, and that gave Saldi a little extra room. Those linemen, if they smell out screens, they're the guys that can destroy a screen by coming off. They know they're released real quick. They know something's going wrong, and then they react to it. The more experience you have, the better you can read screens.
It picked up 3 yards. It's 2nd down and 7. The main thing is it makes those defensive linemen walk on eggs. Here's Dorsett. Dorsett with that speed somehow gets out to midfield. He can stop and then start again, and nobody catches him. Murphy made the tackle, a big safety man.
Now you're seeing Joe Washington and Tony Dorsett put on some nice runs here in the first half, and both have speed, quickness, cutback. You get a lot of your big runs cutting back, and here he is cutting back against the grain a little bit. Tony Hill's trying to work downfield, but you never give up downfield if you got Dorsett running the football or Joe Washington. Those blocks are big downfield. That time he didn't get much help downfield.
He's a co-captain now for the Cowboys. You know, he's carrying it very well. I've never seen him play so well so long as he has this season. A 1st and 10. Ball's out at midfield. Here's the fake, the play action pass. White going, and dropped by number 23, Jimmy Jones. He turned around the wrong way to make that catch, didn't he?
Well, James, that was a catchable football. Danny White laid it over the linebacker, Coleman, and really threw it a little bit behind him. Jones twisted. Still should have caught the ball, but it wasn't a perfect throw.
Dorsett got married last spring, too, didn't he?
Between his marriage, his last game against the Eagles, where he had a bad game, fumbled a couple times, he said he was going to rededicate himself to the offseason, and he just didn't talk a good game. He went and worked out hard in the offseason, was a great example in the offseason program, so Tom Landry made him a captain, and he's taken that responsibility on and has handled it very well.
Well, you get married, you got to work hard. It's 2nd down and 10. Back to throw, Danny White. He's got the time, and it's, whoa, should have been intercepted by Tony Peters and went right on through. Danny White just threw that one up for grabs. Misread. He's really a good reader, though, for a quarterback, isn't he, Raj?
And he's smart. He's an intelligent quarterback and normally goes to the right people. He's hitting his backs, tight ends, and he's spread out the wealth, and that shows you know what you're doing. And Theismann's been doing the same thing in these 5 out of 6 games. When you see how many receivers have caught the ball, you know you're spreading it out. You know you're probably reading the defense pretty well. And that makes a difference. It really keeps a defensive team off balance when you have so many receivers in the game.
All right, 4 down linemen for the Redskins. They may be coming with something because this is 3rd down and 10. Right on the blue star. Here's the shotgun snap. It's a good snap. Outside to Tony Hill, and Tony Hill is knocked out of bounds, and they're going to call it a catch. Lavender knocked him out of bounds, but he would have come back down inbounds had the bird not knocked him out. That's the decision.
I think he got 10 yards and about 2 inches.
This is some battle, Lavender and Hill.
Well, first of all, his feet aren't in bounds, but the rule is if you don't give the receiver a chance to get him in bounds, they'll call it complete.
Pass, first down.
The officials for the game, by the way, is Dick Jorgensen, John Keck, Haggerty, Boyce Smith, Kath Rutt, and Dick Dolak. Just so you know who they are in case you want to write your congressman. 1st down and 10. Right on the 40. That's Pearson's going 3 in motion now on the zoom. Inside handoff. Dorsett's trapped. Gets away from Butts and somehow turns it into a 5-yard gain inside the 35.
That looks a lot harder than it really looks on the surface there. Dorsett just stopped completely in his tracks, but with that explosion again, got away from Butts and made a 5-yard gain out of a 3-yard loss.
Looks like he's walking off something like Olkowitz and Murphy strapped him after the 5-yard gain. He looks like he might be gimpy. That's not the franchise, but that's a pretty good edge on it.
Yeah, it looks like his left ankle might be bothering him.
Dorsett leaves. The applause. Jones is in there. Here's the handoff. Jones gets to the 30, and a driving tackle by Peters stops him there, but it's close to the 1st, and he may have gotten it.
He's limping a little bit over there on that, looks like his left calf or his left ankle. James Jones, who's filling in for Tony, has played extremely well when he's had to replace Dorsett in preseason in a few games. He was a 3rd-round draft choice last year, and they like his future here in Dallas as a running back.
Dorsett averaging over 5 yards today on 7 carries. He's got 37 yards. You don't take somebody like that out of the lineup. In fact, this is the first time, really, that he's been out of the lineup the entire season. It's 3rd down and very short. White takes it. Penn Stater that used to be the guard. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York City now for an update. Brent, you got it.
Tom, we've got 2 updates. Miami now leads the Jets 7-6, and meanwhile, out in Anaheim, Dan Pastorini pulls out for the Rams. He'll dump off over the middle to Wendell Tyler, and Tyler takes it the west of the way, 22 yards. And the Rams lead the Niners now 10-3. Let's go back to you and Roger in Dallas.
Okay, Brent. Tyler, we saw him have a great game against Detroit a few weeks ago. The Rams are moving it again. It's 1st and 10 now after the white sneak. Here's the handoff outside to Springs behind a real good block by Jones. Springs picks up 5 yards. Murphy makes the tackle. I'll tell you, young Jones made a good block on the outside that time.
Well, this is a big drive for the Redskins. They've had 2 opportunities on offense. They missed a field goal. They had a interception. They got nothing out of it. Dallas has methodically moved the ball. If they score here, it can really hurt a defense's confidence. The defense has been on the field a long time, a lot of big runs, and they could either pull it together here or it could be a big score for Dallas today.
He picked up 6 yards. Springs has 45 yards now on 6 carries. That's Pearson in motion. The handoff to Ron Springs, who finds a hole and rambles inside the 15 to the 13. Murphy again having to make the tackle. Is down back where some engagements were taking place between the secondary people and perhaps the ball carrier. This is an official timeout. Tony Hill was slow getting up. I think somebody drilled the receiver who was trying to block, maybe.
I mean, normally it's a face mask down that area, but
unsportsmanlike on the Redskins. We'll get the official call from Dick Jorgensen in just a moment. Tony Hill is being helped off the field.
Personal foul number 23, defense, blow to the head. First down.
Tony Peters.
It's probably Tony Hill that got the blow to the head. He's walking off the field, as Tom mentioned. Here's Springs breaking the tackle. He started a counter move. He started one way, broke back the other way, got the flow. There it is, right here. Yeah.
That's a straight right hand.
That definitely was an elbow to the head there.
It's got Dallas in a 1st and goal situation from the 6. Pearson coming back inside. They're going to run that way with Jones. He goes over the face. He's going to get close. Jimmy Jones up and over to about the 1-foot line. A young back that never gets to play because Dorsett is so durable and having quite a day himself.
Well, he just leaps over the initial penetration by the Redskins right there and is down about the 1-yard line.
Report on Dorsett, as you said.
He has got a left ankle that's bruised, and he will return.
Underlined will is on the message that we got. Dorsett will get back. You can see how far it is. We've got 6:21 left before halftime. Cowboys already lead 7-0. There's the flag. Too much. No, wait. There's still 4 seconds on the clock.
Someone moved.
Offense.
After the preliminary shift, somebody moved again. Now, the coach is not going to like that. Am I safe in saying that?
No, he doesn't like to see really mental errors. That just kills Tom Landry. He doesn't like it. It's down around your goal line or on short yardage, 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 3rd and 1, which they did against Buffalo. They had 2 mental errors that cost them possible first downs, and of course now this puts them back into maybe a passing situation here. They're deceptive. They like to draw a screen or maybe try a pass in this area.
2nd and goal from the 6. White, the quarterback. Misdirection to Springs, who's trapped by number 52 Olkowitz for a loss. Back to about the 8.5-yard line. Good defensive move by a linebacker from Maryland.
Well, when you're in the 6-yard line, the Redskins go back into their normal defense, and this is the play that hit so big before that Springs broke it down, and this time Olkowitz reads it, reads the counter move, doesn't go for the counter fake at all. Springs breaks back, and Olkowitz is there waiting for the runner.
Dorsett comes back in, number 33. You can see the time left, 5:40 and ticking. A 7-0 Dallas lead. And right now, it's 3rd and goal from the 8. The shotgun. Danny White, a lot of time. Overthrows almost intercepted. Jarris White had a chance to really get the ball back for Washington, and somehow it might have been deflected as it came through to him.
Well, the Redskins have had a chance for 2 interceptions. That time, Jarris White, if he would have caught that ball, it was difficult. I don't think he saw the ball. It went through right past Dorsett over his head, and of course Jarris would probably went about 100 yards the other way.
Septien, of course, has only missed 2 field goals, by far the most accurate kicker. He's at a percentage right now at 91% that would break Luke Rose's mark, which we thought would last forever. This will be held by White on the 11-yard line, so you're talking about the 16-yard line, so you're talking about a 26-yard field goal. Raphael Septien is darn near perfect. He still has only missed 2 all season long. A 10-0 bulge, Dallas, and 5.5 minutes left.
Introducing the car Cadillac owners preferred overall to a Cadillac. Introducing the 1982 Lincoln Town Car. When Cadillac owners compared DeVille to the Lincoln Town Car based on comfort, roominess, luxury, and ride, 86 out of 100 preferred the Lincoln Town Car overall. Lincoln Town Car, the car Cadillac owners preferred.
If your morning shave has turned into a nightmare, gotcha. Wake up to the exclusive twin-action Norelco Rotatract razor. Inside 3 floating heads, twin-action grips and raises hair up, then razors hair off, closer than ever. For twin blade closeness without a nick or cut, the twin-action Norelco Rotatract razor, quarter rechargeable. Because for close shaves,
there's no action like twin action.
Only the Muppet movie offers you big-name stars and comedians acting with bears, pigs, and frogs in a fun-filled, hilarious 2-hour movie, available Wednesday.
Whistling Ray is out of his mind with a 10-0 Dallas lead. Septien, by the way, has just gone past Tony Frisch's mark, setting 75 with his 22nd field goal. He's having quite a year kicking. Here's his kickoff, and it's deep. It's 8 yards deep in the end zone. Even Nelms will not run it out. Next Saturday, it's the premiere of NCAA basketball on CBS Sports. You'll see the Wolverines of Michigan go up against the University of Arkansas Razorbacks, or the University of Georgia Bulldogs take on the Dons of the University of San Francisco. Check your local listings for your game, and don't forget, right on CBS, NCAA basketball a premiere. Out of sight. Now we got it. Ball's out on the 20, 1st and 10. Theismann throwing a good strike. Let's see if the flags do it. Walls is going to be called. 2 flags are on there. Intended for Art Monk.
It's a good call by the officials, Tom. Theismann had the down and in, and Walls hit him before the ball got there, and of course that's the penalty.
Might have been a good idea. It looked to me like Art Monk had it going.
Defense, first down.
He had a good shot. The ball was thrown well, and it's tough. It's tough unless you're taking away the inside to stop that down and in, and Theismann laid it right in the right area, and of course Walls hit him before the ball got there, and that's the of course that's the ruling, and it's a good call.
Monk has a 79-yarder. That might have blown all the way. The quick slant sometimes can get you there in a hurry. The officials on top of it. Here's Walker, the tight end in motion reverse. Theismann, he's being rushed by Martin and Dutton. Gets away, he's going to run for it. Chased by Ed Jones, and finally knocked out of bounds on a good hustle at the 38-yard line. Number 72 was hounding number 7. Wonder if he knew what was behind him.
Big Ed is limping a little bit. That's what's really scary when you got a guy 6'9", about 270 that can run like that. Here's Theismann looking to his left. Doesn't see what he wants, and he just gets around to Dutton right here. Goes down the sideline. Now Jones is 6'9", 270. Not bad speed for a big man.
Harvey Martin ran into the official. Didn't knock him down, but he gave him a shot. He was trying to make the play, too. It's 2nd down and 6, a 4-yard gain for the Washington quarterback. Hand off to Joe Washington to the 42.
I've noticed something about Theismann. When he's going to throw to his left, it looks like he backs out all the time. Maybe Waters saw him back out for the interception, knew he was going to throw the ball to that left side. When he's throwing to his right, he's taking a normal drop back. But most of the time when he's throwing to his left, he backs out. I don't know if he's giving away something or not.
By backing out, you mean he actually favors the left side as he comes off?
Just back straight out instead of taking the going back on a crossover step when he throws to the right.
Well, that's what good scouts, and of course, Ermal Allen, our friend who's in the hospital, really giving it a shot, used to be able to pick up those details. It's 3rd and close. Riggins up over the top. I don't think so. The flags are down. It's a line of scrimmage call. Randy White and Dutton stopped it up, but I don't know if Riggins made it or not, but there are flags.
That's awfully close.
Redskins are obviously pointing toward the other goal line. Offsides Dallas. So the first will go. Riggins is sort of disgusted with himself. He's coming off. Last week now, Riggins was used a lot against the New York Giants, and so far today it's been only on short yardage situations.
Well, they're going with the guy that's hot, and of course Washington's had a great first half.
Encroachment, number 50, defense lined up in a neutral zone. First down.
D.D. Lewis, another 5-time Super Bowler, is lining up offsides.
Little Joe has really been motoring in this first half, but I'm sure Riggins will need to pick up in the second half.
First down as Art Monk really runs too quickly in motion. He's on the bottom of your screen. Here's the out pattern, almost picked off by Thurman. Intended for Ricky Thompson. Let's go to New York and Brent Musburger for an update.
Rookie Big Sky Montana brought the 49ers right back down the Ram defense throat. They are all even at 10. Meanwhile, the Dolphins have just got a safety. They lead the Jets 9-6. Let's go back to Brookie and Lodger now in Dallas.
Okay, Brent, football is getting hot. Looking for the stretch run that will end up on CBS up in Pontiac, Michigan, Detroit. Everybody still thinks they've got a shot. At least a lot of teams do. Second down and 10. Theismann quickly back. Keeps Joe Washington in the backfield. Rolls to his left. He's going for Monk, who's wide open, and it's out of bounds. Led the receiver out of bounds. Walls was beaten on the play, it looked to me like.
He was. That's a tough play with a quarterback rolling to your left, trying to throw right-handed back, and he did have Monk. It would have had to been a perfect throw to keep him in bounds, and he got it too far out in front.
Stallings has had some job keeping a young secondary together. He's got 2 free agent rookies starting, Downs and Walls. Charlie Waters, perhaps in his last year in 11 years, at one safety spot, and of course Thurman, an 11th round draft choice, starting at the right corner. Considering that, they've done pretty well, I guess.
Gene Stallings does a fantastic job. He's very patient. He's very smart. He knows what to do with defensive people, and he knows the psychology, and he handles the whole situation very well.
Third down and 10, and the blitz is on by Dallas, and Dickerson makes it count. A big rush by the Dallas bunch, and of course they're the leading sackers in the NFC. That's number 34 for the year. Here it is.
Here's the blitz. Again, you take your chances when you blitz. This time Dallas does a good job out of Dickerson and Waters are both picked up. Theismann is clogged up in the middle, though, and Dickerson comes off late for the sack. Again, Theismann would have had the right play on. If he would have had a quick route, he had enough time, but they had something downfield deep developing, and he just couldn't get rid of the football.
There's Connell facing that sunlight here in the late afternoon, and James Jones is waiting for it. The flags are down.
Dallas is offside.
And this is a big, high-hanging kick. Oh, Jones takes it inside his 5-yard line and is going to try to run it out. Most people tell you if it's inside the 5, let it go into the end zone, but Jones decided to run it out anyway. Obviously, the Redskins would like to have that kind of position. They can't get enough for a first anyway with the penalty.
Redskins had a guy on the left side that moved a little bit. The Dallas guy did come off sides, but they're going to get the Redskins for illegal motion.
Does Dallas have a special teams coach?
Yes, Mike Ditka handles the special teams. He works with the receivers also. Mike has really worked in the overall offense. He's the offensive coordinator with John Makovic now, since Dan Reeves went over to Denver.
I would imagine they'll talk to Jones about when those punts get into that area.
Number 58, offense, still 4th down.
Don't forget at halftime, of course, Connell will kick again. This time he'll be standing back on the 24-yard line. Jones will be standing just inside his 20. lap is perfect. Oh, this is some punt. There's a 5-second hang time. Jones is back to the 11-yard line. Oh, fumbles the ball, falls on it, and it's going to stay right there. A little bit of troubling handling the punt, and the Redskins special teams pay off again. Cronin down to make the tackle. 3:27 left, and Dallas has a 10-point bulge.
I've had to write some tough things about some tough guys. But there's one guy I can't write anything bad about. His unique brand of baseball has made him a living legend. So have his commercials. They got me to try his favorite beer, light beer from Miller. Light's less filling, and it really tastes great. So I bought this light for that renowned, yet humble man, Arthroner.
Cheer up, Billy. One day you'll be famous just like me.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Presenting the new Toyota Supra and Dan Gurney.
To make a car comfortable and fun to drive at the same time, it takes the right stuff. The new Supra has everything where you can touch or see it. Instrumentation monitors every move. And the seat has so many adjustments, it does everything but eject you. It takes the right stuff to make a performance car comfortable.
The all-new Toyota Celica Supra.
And this is the right stuff.
Oh, what a feeling.
Supra.
Toyota.
Thanksgiving Day, feast your eyes on CBS Sports as the Chicago Bears face the Dallas Cowboys, starting with a special holiday edition of the NFL Today, live at 3:30 Eastern on CBS.
I've been around this league a long time, and this young man, Joe Gibbs, the first-year coach of Washington, has really made an impression on me, and his players have turned it around. He's some young coach. Here's the play. Handing off. Dorsett gets out in the open. At the 25, motoring quickly to the 27-yard line, almost faster than you can report it. Jarris White made the tackle.
You know, if you're a quarterback like Danny White, you're back in the 12-yard line. It's extra nice to have a running back that can do this. Get you out of trouble in one play. There's
Jim
Cooper, number 61, does an excellent job. He gets a little piece of Coleman, lets Dorsett get outside. That's a counter move to the weak side. They fake a little bit to the right, get the linebackers flowing so he can set up the blocking. And Dorsett gets around that corner with a nice block from number 61, Jim Cooper.
He really made the move so easy. It looked like he was setting up to sort of block to that offside. What a play by Dorsett. 2:44 left. First down. Handoff outside to Dorsett. No hole there. Good play on the line of scrimmage. Olkowitz getting out there quickly from the middle linebacking spot. Only 6 teams now use the 4-man front.
You know, one thing, Tommy, you don't see a lot of times in that line play, but Dave Butts did an excellent job that time in penetration. He wasn't near the tackle, but he knocked off Herb Scott, the guard. So Dorsett had no interference out in front, and Big Dave has had a great year so far. He's played extremely well against the run, and last week he had a couple of traps. He's I feel, and I mentioned it last week, he's definitely a Pro Bowl caliber this year the way he's playing.
He's too small, though. He's only 285. Second down and 10. Straight drop back. Going forward, Drew Pearson overthrown and cut off at the pass by Bird Lavender, number 20.
These whistles are blowing before that ball went there. I don't see a...
That is the 2-minute warning. We're just under it. The long play just overthrowing Pearson as he and Lavender were having their duel. It's 10-0. Dallas leads, but look out. Look out.
He's got to check the engine speed, check the fuel. Now your kid can race like a pro. Magnum 440 Pro Racing with the fastest cars in the world. Real dashboard, tachometer, fuel gauge, and he controls it all. Hit the red line. That really burns gas. When he's out of gas, he's out of luck. Quick, is half a tank enough? Get back in the race and win.
Now get a $5 refund direct from Tyco when you buy the Magnum 440 Pro Racing set. See TV Guide and People for details.
With State Farm, you don't call a stranger when you need help. If you have a question about your family or personal insurance needs, or you want to report a claim, you call your State Farm agent. We're there to give you personal service. That's one of the big reasons so many families come to State Farm and stick with State Farm. It's the availability of the State Farm agent. Whether it's life, health, home, or car insurance, we're there to help. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Now through the National Championship, NCAA basketball on CBS Sports.
Boy, Doug Todd and Greg Aiello really have a lot of respect for you. Will you explain that on the scoreboard, please?
That cost Danny White a lot of money to have that put up there.
That was against the Rams in that losing playoff game in '79. That was your last game, huh?
Our last completion was to Herb Scott, our left guard, also.
What, you hit him on the break? I heard it was a good throw.
Yeah, he worked hard all year. He deserved it, though.
You got a good sense of humor, my friend. You're a great player, and it's fun to work with you. Here we are in shotgun now, 3rd down and 10. White's back to throw. He's got some time. A little heat put on, and he's tackled and dropped by Perry Brooks.
That gives the Redskins a shot at it.
Wow, Brooks really came that time. 265 and working hard.
That's the nicest thing a defensive back's ever said about me. I appreciate it, Dave Brooks. But this gives the Redskins a shot to get something on the board before the half. The Dallas is tough in that 2-minute period. If they would have got a first. There's a Cowboy number 33. He must be a Tony Dorsett fan if he knows who Tony Dorsett is at that age. But
he does. In Texas, he has to know. You know that. Danny White.
One thing about Danny, he said he liked to punt the football after a bad 3rd down play. He wanted to take his anger out on the football. So let's see what kind of anger he's going to have right now after being trapped.
The Redskins took a timeout. Either they're going to talk over their return possibilities because they got Nelms back there, or they want to look at the new wardrobe with Tom Landry. We'll be back in just a moment.
He was the kind of a guy who didn't expect much from today's small cars, just practicality, nothing more. Then he saw the 1982 Oldsmobile Omega and realized he'd been expecting too little. This 4-cylinder front-wheel drive Olds Omega had style. He could imagine the luxury inside, the smooth, quiet ride. Olds Omega, he smiled. Even today, there's still room to do it with style.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
Good luck. Holiday Inn makes me feel like a winner. That's why my team chooses Holiday Inn. No surprises. Beds always comfortable, always. Big rooms. And there's a Holiday Inn hotel near just about everywhere we play. Well, let's go call them like we see them.
You have to see them to call them. Holiday Inn is #1 in people-pleasing.
Tom Brookshire with Roger Staubach. No, those are just 2 fans in the stands watching the tube while they watch the action. But Danny White will kick, and Mike Nelms, perhaps the best punt returner in the world right now, is waiting for it at his own 41-yard line. This is an average kick for White. Nelms at the 42-yard line. He'll try to get out of bounds, and he's tackled on a real good tackle by Benny Barnes. Before he gets into Cowboy territory. That's a good tackle.
Excellent tackle. Nelms is number 3 in punt returns in the NFC and number 1 in kickoff returns. And if he could have got back to this right side without that tackle by Barnes, he might have had a lot of running room.
Don't forget at halftime, back in Gotham City, the Big Apple, Brent Nerve with all of the highlights of another crazy football Sunday on CBS. All right, 1:32 left and 2 timeouts for Joe Theismann. Straight drop back. He's going to dump it to Washington. He does at the 50. Washington with running room. Makes 3 people miss and gets to the 36-yard line. Wells finally making the stop as Little Joe went on a weave.
I see the people laying in the wake. About 2 or 3 of them.
You know they're looking for him. You know, especially in that nickel defense, they're looking for him to come out of there. Where did he come from? He's short at 5'10". Maybe he went under somebody.
I'd say Harvey Martin put a hit on Theismann. Theismann hung in there, got the ball to Washington. That was a big game.
First and 10 pass play by Theismann. He hasn't stopped the clock yet. Washington takes it. He's going to get out of bounds. No, he's going to get as much as he can and turns it inside to almost the 15. Make it the 16. Walls again on the tackle. And this guy can get you in a game in about 4 plays.
I guess you can overdo it talking about an individual, but I can't overdo it. This guy we've seen him time and time again, week in and week out. When he's been healthy, he's been just the major ingredient in this offense, and today he's turning in some plays that are very, very special.
48 seconds left.
Drive carefully.
It's not hard to tell. Tonight's a special night for her and for them. But it doesn't take much to turn a night to remember into one they'll wish they could forget. Hi, I'm Drew Pearson of the Dallas Cowboys, and the difference between a special occasion and a tragedy can be a few drinks and a short drive. Teenage drinking is a problem you hear a lot about, But one place most teams don't hear enough about it is right here at home. All too often, parents find themselves unsure of what to say. That's where this free booklet, Straight Talk About Alcohol, comes in. It's published by the Education Commission of the States and the Distilled Spirits Council. The title tells you exactly what it's all about. Maybe you should read it now. Don't wait till it's too late. Write for your free copy to ECS, Box 687, Denver, Colorado, 80201. That's ECS, Box 687, Denver. Do it today.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League. And that was number 88, Mr. Pearson, who interviewed you the other night live. He's in the communications, too, other than catching, huh?
He's got a little show on Friday nights here in Dallas on the sports.
Yeah, it was a good interview, too. 48 seconds, one timeout left. The ball is on the 16-yard line of Dallas. Theismann can move him. Inside handoff to Joe Washington, who gets a good block inside the 10. Dutton hanging on. Thurman trying to steal the ball. Barnes in on the tackle. Washington, with that carry, will have over 80 yards rushing.
He's down right now.
Uh-oh. And another 40-some-odd catching the football. He has 100 yards total offense at halftime.
Well, he's doing everything. He's making the big runs. He's catching the football. Of course, they can't afford to lose him. Grimm, 68, does a nice lead block here. He's pushing people out of the way. Gets hit right in here and twisted to the ground and then popped a little bit by Thurman. And something is hurting Joe Washington, and hopefully it's not serious.
Took a little thump with a knee in the back, and, of course, that worries anybody.
He's got to be in good shape. He was kneeling in the huddle during that last timeout, but he had just made two fantastic runs after catching the ball, and maybe he's just winded, but it looks a little bit more serious than that.
The last timeout for the Redskins was burned. Don't forget next Sunday, Los Angeles at Pittsburgh. That's got to be one of the physical battles of all time. Washington at Buffalo, the doubleheader game. The New York Giants, the surprising Giants, with Bruner at the controls against San Francisco, Atlanta at Houston. So check your local listings. NFL on CBS. The crowd is very quiet.
I'm surprised at the one timeout they took before Danny White punted. I don't know what the reason was for that timeout, but it could prove a factor here. 2nd and 1, they want to get the first down.
They got 39 seconds, so they can stop it. He can stop it with a throw or anything. You take the timeout when your bread and butter is hurt.
Well, he'll have to call 2 plays, and Joe's up again, and I think he's going to be all right.
Why couldn't the officials have used one of their timeouts?
Well, on a case like this in the 2-minute period, you can't get a timeout on the injured player. You've got to take it. And he's hurting up around the rib area.
I know it. Some player, he's only about 175 pounds, and that is ringing wet with the rock in the pocket. But some football player out of Oklahoma, probably the best number 2 draft choice that Bobby Beathard in Washington will ever use to get him from Baltimore. Okay, here we go. It's 2nd down and 1 for the first down. And 6 yards for the touchdown. Ricky Thompson to the right along with Art Monk. Theismann taking his time. Going to the outside. He's got a touchdown.
There's no flags. It's a good one. Touchdown. Well, that'll pick the Redskins up. And Dallas mentioned last week what hurt them before the half is when the Detroit scored. It gave some momentum going into halftime. And here the Redskins make a big play by a young guy they picked up, put on the roster last week.
From Miami, I think he was with, right? Jacinto?
That's right. Came in from Miami and dressed last week and scored a touchdown this week.
What a big play to get. On the scoreboard with 35 seconds left. A great drive by Washington. And, of course, Joe Washington didn't get to see the last touchdown. Mosley's extra point. And there's a flag down.
They're going to get roughing the holder, or the kicker.
Roughing the kicker, and they will be penalized on the ensuing kickoff, and the point will go up. And suddenly, it's a 3-point football game.
Running to the quick kicker, number 27. Defense, the point is good. 5 yards on the kickoff.
They're talking to, here's the roughing right here, Mosley. This, of course, would be on the kickoff, and Ron Fellows belts him. But we're watching down on the bench now. The guy I'm watching is the trainer. And here we got another look at the touchdown. I'm looking at the trainer, though, talking to Joe Washington, because the key to this Redskin game right now is Joe Washington coming back in the second half. He's talking. He's standing up. There we got a shot of him. Well, like that guy.
Port Arthur, Texas. You know, that's where Lincoln High is where he grew up. In fact, 8 of the Redskins were born in Texas.
I don't know if you mentioned, Tommy, I was so excited watching him down there, but he's run the ball 12 times for 84 yards. He's caught 3 passes for 47. So it's not a bad first half for a
probably an average day for him, but not bad for most people, right?
Those are good game statistics.
Remember the Washington-Dallas series, though, and the greatest game I think I've ever been party to was the 35-34 thing a couple of years ago that you pulled out when Washington had the game for most of it, and Dallas came back and won the second half. So these games can blow back and forth. It's never over, really, until the fourth period.
Well, that was a game that swang from the very beginning about 3 or 4 different times, and this history in this series has had teams just has not given up, but anything can happen in these games.
A low kick taken by Newhouse at the 12-yard line. Robert Newhouse, who is loaded with energy because he doesn't get to play much, gets to the 25, and the Cowboys have 29 seconds. They're thinking a Septian field goal, I'm sure, or better if they can get it. You don't let the clock tick off now, do you, with 29? You try to get points?
Well, they're at about the 25-yard line. If they had they'll try a run with Dorsett, I'm sure, right now. And if he happens to break it, then they'll probably throw the ball. But my guess is right now they're not going to be in the shotgun. They'll be underneath the center. And Dorsett will try to break one. And if they get 10 or 15 yards in a run, then they'll start throwing the ball.
Okay, Roger Staubach, and he knows he's been in that huddle so many times. 29 seconds, inside handoff. Spriggs makes a good move, gets almost to the 30.
He might have fumbled down there.
Harry Brooks made the tackle, and I think there was a secondary surge.
I think Rafferty recovered a fumble down there. That could have been interesting.
The one thing that you have to be careful of, especially with the Redskins, how they've turned their season around, is that they've turned the turnover ratio around. They're going to let it go now, as Roger said they would. It's the Dallas Cowboys 10, the resurgent Washington Redskins 7. We're halfway through a football game that may have just gotten started.